Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be a review of the Crucial P5 M.2 AMD NVMe SSD. The exact unit we are going to review is the 1000 GB variant, that is the 1 TB variant. It compares well with the Samsung 970 EVO Plus and the WD, that is Western Digital SN750 Black SSD. So we are going to go through some shots of the box, some photos, and what's inside the box. So the looks of the packaging is premium. It gets the job done. On the back side of the box, there is a very small hole similar to the cutouts from Intel and AMD processors that shows you the model of the CPU. So here also you will get a small QR code and the capacity level that you can take a sneak peek from the back of the box. This is what's inside the box. There's the SSD inside a shock sensitive package, I should say, an instruction and warranty information manual, and unfortunately there are no stickers. It would have been nice to see some powered by Crucial SSD stickers. I'm really looking forward to manufacturers doing that often like they used to in the old days. So let's move on. This is the SSD itself. It is a black PCB based drive with a black sticker on top with basic information printed. It looks good, and the sticker, I'm not exactly sure whether it's a thermally conductive sticker, but it is supposed to be. So even if you are not using a heatsink, the sticker is going to act as a small heatsink which absorbs heat from the controller and the NAND chips. So the looks are premium, I should say. It will look very good with the black themed motherboard like the ASUS ROG or the Gigabyte Aorus lineup, or even the MSI MEG and gaming lineups as well. So inside there is a small controller, and I should mention this is a DRAM SSD. That is, it has a DRAM. The capacity for the 1 TB drive is a 1 gigabyte LPDDR4 4266 megahertz DRAM. So you can very well use it for your primary operating system drive as well as for anything for that matter. And the chips, everything in this SSD, from the controller to the DRAM module to the NAND chips, are from Micron itself. This is the only other SSD apart from the Samsung ones that has all the components in-house from the manufacturer this SSD is from. So the SSD is manufactured by Crucial's parent company Micron, and like that's it. Let's now move into the back side of this SSD. This is the Gen 4 LAN that you can see from the PC, from the connector to the LAN. See, there are 4 sets of capacitors, which equates to 1 LAN each pair. So 4 of them equals 4 pair. So this is the back side of the SSD. As you can see, I have masked the serial number and the PSID for obvious purpose, since they are confidential information. So in this back sticker, you will get the some of the crucial details, like Crucial SSD crucial details. So you will get the QR code as I previously showed from the box. This will give you the serial number of the SSD as well as the capacity and all the basic information. And you will get the PSID as well, which is used for a security feature. PSID, it's called PSID revert. You can read about it online or through other sources. It's a confidential information, and it is used to like revert the SSD to the previous state. So and you will also get the serial number. It would have been nice to see the PSID label printed on the front as well, because suppose you are installing this SSD on a laptop, so that way like you will if you ever need to use the PSID code, you will be able to use it without like removing the SSD again. You will be able to just see it from up front, but it seems that's not the case here. So if you're planning to use this SSD on a security related environment, and you think you might need to use the PSID at some point of time, I recommend you to take a photo of the backside of the label and store it someplace secure, so that if you ever require the PCIe, you will be able to see it without physically taking out the drive itself again. So now let's move on to the benchmarks. I'm sorry, there is another photo I want to see. I want to show to you, and that's the installation, and it's pretty simple. It's just like another M.2 SSD installation. So just make sure you can you can install it on any laptop or a desktop having a M.2 slot which supports the PCI Express band connection mode. Like M.2 slots are of two types, PCI Express and SATA. So this is a PCI Express based drive. It's a NVMe one. NVMe stands for non-volatile memory express and operates on the PCI Express channels. So just install the necessary standoff for the 2280 screw hole. It will be on your motherboard or on the laptop you want to use it on. Just follow the instructions for your specific motherboard. It might have a heatsink as I have, but I have not showed it in the photo. You can follow the instruction and take out the heatsink, and then install the SSD at a 30-degree angle in the slot, and then push down and screw down the SSD. I have a video of it on this channel itself. You can see it if you want. And let's move on. So we get a sneak peek of the first benchmark. So as is expected from a tire of this SSD, the read and write speeds are very impressive. It almost or even sometimes exceeds the Samsung 970 EVO Plus as well, and consistently exceeds the WD Black SN750 as well. So it is pretty wise to say that this is one of the best PCI Express Gen 3 drives you can buy at the moment. So the read speeds, like surprisingly in Crystal Disk Mark at least, the read speeds and write speeds both on the sequential loads, it crosses what's advertised. Like the advertised read and write speeds of this SSD are 3400 Mbps and 3000 Mbps respectively. However, like we can see that it very well crosses that those marks. So I think the write speed was 3100. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that's that. It crosses that as well. So even the 128K sequential test results are also good, and so are the random 4K. The random 4K Q1 T1 result I have seen it perform better on some other SSDs. Like I think the Samsung 970 EVO Plus, their scores are a little bit higher. But yeah, that's that. Like it's on a margin of error, honestly speaking. And same goes for the AS SSD. I have included both the benchmarks because the two tests data on a different way. The compression levels are different, so you can very well roughly figure out the real-time performance from these tests as well. So let us now move on to the AIDA disk bench, which is kind of rare, and I am kind of confused why many people skip that. It's a very important and accurate test, to be honest. And here we have done only the read test, because the write test takes a significant amount of time, and it causes write of the SSD significantly. So as you can see, the read speed here is a respectable average of almost 3100 Mbps, and it's quite good. There have been a dip of 1782 Mbps, around 1.7 to 1.8 GB per second, I should say. And that is because it is I have been using it as the primary operating system drive. So yes, for this review I have used it as generalized as possible, because for SSD of this kind, most of you who will be buying it or have already got it for that matter will be using it as a primary OS drive. So yes, so you get this is the worst case situation, and you know where in benchmarks the operating system sometimes causes some loads on the SSD, like some log writing or whatever it is, and it causes the performance of the SSD to drop, and that's why you see there have been a drop of around 1.8 GB per second. But the average speed, as you can see, it's very good, and it is equally good as the Samsung 970 EVO Plus. So now we are going to move to the smart data and thermals. So thermals are very good actually. I was surprised. It is mentioned worthy that the motherboard I am using is an ASUS B550 Strix F Gaming, and it comes with a heatsink on top of the M.2 slot. I am using the first slot that is connected directly to the CPU, and the CPU in question, it's a Ryzen 5 3600. And all the benchmarks were done that way only. And the thermals, yes, the thermals have been very good. The ambient temperature was around 30 to 31 degrees Celsius, and the peak temperatures of the SSD during my testing went up to as high as 67 to 69 degrees Celsius. So those are excellent scores for a SSD of this tier, because the thermal threshold of this temperature, of this SSD, it starts at 75 degrees Celsius. That is 75 degrees Celsius is the point where it will start to thermally throttle and possibly reduce performance. But I never even reached that mark, even during heavy workloads. And the idle temperatures are a bit somewhat higher. I am not sure exactly why. I have a Kingston A2500 GB SSD as well, and it stays much cooler during idle operation, but this one, it stays around the 52 degrees Celsius mark. So also another thing I would like to mention is the temperature and the temperature sensors. So as you can see from the smart data, that there are two temperatures, the sensor 1 and sensor 2. So sensor 1 stands for the NAND flash memory. It is going to be usually less than the other one. Coming to the other one, the sensor 2 is for the controller of the SSD. So Crucial here is using their in-house based controller, and it comes with a small IHS, that is an integrated heat spreader on top of the chip, which can be visible on taking out that sticker. It is not recommended because again that sticker acts as a heatsink. So so that's that for the temperatures. And for the endurance of this particular model is 600 TBW and carries a 5 years warranty, whichever and if you cross any of that mark, you won't be given warranty or a replacement to the SSD. So that's that. And it's I would say a pretty respectable 600 TBW endurance. It falls in line with the 970 EVO Plus, it's exactly the same for that, and same for the WDSN750. There are other SSDs you can consider if you need higher endurance. Those are pro grade SSDs. I won't be going that far in this video. So so this is as expected from a SSD of this tier, and should last you long enough. It should last you long enough than probably the entire PC itself. You are going to upgrade something else sooner. So this is the software Crucial provides for managing their SSDs. It's quite good, to be honest. I did not have much hopes as with these kind of softwares that their interface are let's face it, they are not acceptable to our standards. But this looks professional and it provides easy management. As you can see, it allows firmware update. You can see the firmware revision of this drive. It's the latest one already installed. It was manufactured on February 2021. I brought this on May 2021. So so that's that. Till now, Crucial released this SSD on July of 2020, but as of now there have been no firmware updates to this SSD. I have contacted Crucial regarding a potential performance increase that I have found on some specific scenario, which I will discuss once they revert back to me. As of now, they have not reverted yet. So I believe there might be a firmware update possible, which can potentially increase those 4K read and write performance that I talked about during the benchmarks. So and here it offers a very nifty feature called the momentum cache. So it's a fancy name, but it works very good, I should say. I have tested it on my laptop. I have installed this SSD on my laptop as well for testing it out. And on a desktop, it's not exactly advisable unless you have a backup power source. As you can see, there's a warning also. So I will tell you the reason shortly. So what it does is momentum cache, it allocates a certain percentage of RAM from your system, and that way when you are reading and writing data, you essentially first write it to the RAM, and like you will feel that it has been done already, but actually the RAM then sends the data to your SSD. It's how this software operates, and hence the reason like why the warning is there. Because suppose you are writing a piece of data and it goes to the RAM. Suppose you are editing a video and your processor is processing the video and sending it to the RAM, and the RAM is acting as your permanent storage device, like before, and at the same time momentum cache is like transferring the data to your SSD. So while that data is being transferred, it is possible that a significant portion of the data is already on the RAM that is yet to be transferred to the SSD. And if for some reason you lose power, RAM being a volatile memory, it will lose all of the data, and that is why this warning is given. So as far the read performance is concerned, yeah, it will smartly detect what applications you're using. Like for example, if you are using a game, it will load the identifiable game files that are required for loading up the game, actually loading up the game directly from the drive. And what it will do is it will in advance put those data in the RAM already, so that when you actually load the game, it is loaded from the RAM itself, like it previously knows what is to be loaded. So your SSD is accessed less also. So here also you will get the smart data as well. So there are all the informations like per number of power cycles, total power on hours count, number of unsafe shutdowns, any error logs, the temperatures, everything. So yeah, and also you will get the all available spare blocks, like when the SSD is reaching the end of its life, it will use some spare blocks. So as you can see, since it's a new drive, it's already at 100%. But if you see this dropping down after you have significantly used the SSD, then you will know that yes, the SSD is getting worn out and it is now using the spare blocks so that it can cope up with the failure of the varying flash memory. But yeah, so this is the same thing as the AIDA smart information as well. So apart from this, you will be able to install firmware updates from this utility. You will be able to sanitize the drive. Sanitization means the data is erased as securely as possible, and it won't be possible to recover them by any easy means. That is, you will be able to format the drive, provided it's not the only partition of the operating system. You will be able to do the PCIe revert, as I previously spoke about. You will be able to use the flex capacity. The flex capacity is like it's very similar to over provisioning. It allocates a certain amount of data and amount of capacity, and it enhances the performance of the SSD. But on difference with the over provisioning uses it for performance in a slight performance increase, as well as wear management. Like over provisioning allows better wear management, but it consumes a considerable portion of the SSD, I should say. So, and again, you can do a device self-test. It consists of the long and short tests and the namespace management. You can read about these things anywhere, and those is available on the Crucial website as well. So I won't get much into details for this video. So this is the other page of the smart information. So yeah, for conclusion, I would say it's a very good alternative to the Samsung 970 EVO Plus, and the sequential write speeds. The reason you can ask me why I got this over the 970 EVO Plus is that the sequential write speeds at the long duration write are superior to that of the 970 EVO Plus. So suppose you are copying a very large file, like around 200 GB file from this SSD another SSD to this one, or maybe from this SSD to this very SSD, like from on the same drive, the write speeds crosses the 1.2 Gbps barrier. Like it's very good for that long kind of write operation. If you check the benchmarks of any other SSDs, you will be able to see that. And this has been my primary reason, since I am planning to use this SSD for exactly that kind of purpose. And yeah, so there you go. The thermal management is good as any other SSD from this segment. And yeah, it is newer also. It came later than the 970 EVO Plus as well as the SN750. It was released on April 2020, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe for more content related to anything PC, gaming console, and you get it. So thank you. Like and subscribe. Take care. Bye for now.